Alright, guys. It is Thursday, April 15th, 2021 at 5:55 p.m. Alright, guys, let's head into this spooky video. Alright, so this video, I came across a lot of stuff, and I'm going to share it with you. Alright, we got scientists create early embryos that are part human, part monkey. Alright, so it isn't the first time that scientists out of nowhere just started creating random things. I'll go over a couple articles that I share where scientists decide to play God and they mess around with genetics where they shouldn't be playing God. They shouldn't be messing with genetics at all, but they decide to do so. So here's an article. It says for the first time, scientists have created embryos that are a mix of human and monkey cells. The embryos described Thursday in the journal Cell were created in a part to try to find new ways to produce organs for people who need transplants, said the international team of scientists who collaborated in the work, but the research raises a variety of concerns. So here's my inquiry. I believe that have been doing this for a long time, and they're just revealing now some of their experiments and work. They're doing this to harvest organs from these poor animals that they're experimenting and mixing human DNA with, and they're revealing it now. Who knows what else they're experimenting on and have been for a long time. Right, it says, my first question is why? Says Kristen Matthews, a fellow for science and technology at Rice University Baker Institute. I think the public is going to be concerned, and I am as well. They were just kind of pushing forward with science without having a proper conversation about what we should or should not do. Still, the scientists who conduct the research and some of the bioethics defend their experiment. This is one of the major problems in medicine, organ transplantation, said Juan Carlos Espusa Belmonte, a professor of Gene Expressions Laboratory of the Salk Institute of Biological Sciences in La Jolla, California, and co-author of the Cell Study. The demand for that is much higher than the supply. I don't see this type of research being ethically problematic, said Inhu Hyun, a bioethicist at Case Western Reserve University and Harvard University. It's aimed at lawfully humanitarian goals. Thousands of people die every year in the United States waiting for an organ transplant, Hyun noted. So in recent years, some researchers in the U.S. and beyond have been injected human stem cells into sheep and pig embryos if they see they might eventually grow human organs in such animals for transplantation. Okay, so that is basically the reason why they're doing that, or why they're revealing that. This is left field, but there have been a lot of UFO. If you're into ufology, a lot of reports of cows being discovered with like part human, part cow embryos in them, and people were like, "Why are these being discovered?" If it's true, the government has been experimenting with animals and mixing them with humans for such a long time that some ufologists have encountered, when they encountered the cattle, some of their experiments. Some of these experiments have not been revealed to the public, but here is a side of science that's proving that they're mixing embryos, as I said. Let me go back to the exact quote. That it says they have been injected human stem cells into sheep and pig embryos. So who knows what else they've been doing just to create these organs from these cells. But yeah, I'm not very happy at all that they're mixing humans and monkeys together. That is just wrong. Alright, now let's go to another article that I had come across a couple of weeks ago. It says these living robots self-assemble from frog skin cells. So they're not just messing around with monkeys and pigs and all this stuff. Now they're mixing frog cells and robots. It says the line between animals and machines was already getting blurry after a team of scientists and roboticists unveiled the first living robots last year. Now, the same team has released a version 2.0 of their so-called Xenobots, and they're faster, stronger, and more capable than ever. In January 2020, researchers from Tufts University and the University of Vermont laid out a method for building tiny biological machines out of the eggs of the African claw Xenobus edibus, dubbed Xenobots after their animal forebear. They could move independently, push objects, and even team up to create swarms. Remarkably, building them involved no genetic engineering. Instead, the team used an evolutionary algorithm running on a supercomputer to test out thousands of potential designs made up of different configurations of cells. So this is some of the stuff that they're experimenting on. Nanorobots with frog cells to create who knows what abomination. So they're just this is some of the stuff that's coming out that they've been working on. Who knows what else they've been working on that they don't talk about or that they haven't declassified enough for human beings to be aware of. So I had come across this other article. Cells form into Xenobots on their own. Embryonic cells that self-assemble into new living forms that don't resemble bodies they usually generate, generating old ideas of what defines an organism. So here's the little robots being active in frog cells, moving about. So they're calling them Xenobots. So that's another thing that they're experimenting with. And also, I talk a lot about this when you come to my videos, the possibility that I have been hearing that they have been experimenting with gigantic dogs to use as attack dogs in the military. Who knows where they have these, but supposedly there is a possibility that these giant dogs do exist, and they're experimenting with them. And who knows what kind of evil they could do with that. Also, I came across today from Dabu7, New Yorkers freak out as New York Police Department deploys Robo-Dogs, dog tested in French military training. So these robotic dogs are also being released now into the New York Police Department and also in the French military. Who knows what they'll do with these dogs or these machines that they can attach weapons to and track down. These robots can pretty much use infrared and tell how many people are in the building. They can, if they have a weapon attached, possibly attack other people. So it's very spooky to come across this news. Come across New York City, it being now used in the States and in France. So check out Dabu77's video. I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna leave a link so you guys can check it out. But this is what I've come across today. So yeah, we need God because there's so much happening and it's so crazy. Who can stand if with all these crazy experiments and things that are happening? Who can stand if you can't? You need God by your side because without him you'd be lost. Alright guys, hit like and subscribe for more videos, and I'll try to cover whatever weird stuff comes around. Alright, see you guys next time. God bless.